Okay, I have to do this. I'm doing this. Um, I'm trying to look for something right here. Oh, yes, here it is, and here is my camera. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now. Is that I was thinking of going live, live. So, like right now, you can see me. Oh my God. And I wrote a note. You have to put that. What do they call that? I did only 4,000 of them descriptions. And it said Ronald, Mr. Tackpan's live stream, and then I said testing. How does this work? Because I left out the K. Just in case I do go live, what for? Am I so nervous? For I am so nervous. I may do something silly, look like a fool. But why can't I face the faces? I heard out 2 and 2 is you, all the faces. This is a link. Then how can I close the link between the seasoning? Season a little spice so that both sides enjoy the taste, the tongue, and the spice you took. Remember, if you use a spice, that spice is no longer where it was. You're going to have to grow more. You're going to have to create more life because you took it away. Space invaders. How do we stay alive? Because we're a spice of everything. We are a spice of everything. So what I want to say is that one, who is I? Okay, and that's the reason you're here watching me, because you're not watching the other guy who's watching me. You're watching me. You may want to watch him, but you two are both watching me. So I'm a link. So I got to mold to both sides, or you're seeing me different. The one me, 2 of you see different. 3 of you see different. No, it's not like this. And all the 3 are arguing together of who I am. And all I did was talk. All I did was tell you my story. And then there's the other things, of course. How can we trust them? But how can we trust them about what? Have I sold anything to you? Have I given you any advice? My advice is actually free. If the ear is not there and I am boring, then you're no longer watching me. You've shut it down. You've wasted your time. You left a comment just about how you feel, just to get it off your chest. Isn't that what the good Lord said? May I exalt within one the ark which what carries the body and the heart will exalt with a pencil and a pen and his mind, and he took his body. And you have to feed that body. Do you see this hand here? Hey, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I don't look a day over 95. Right? I'm as vibrant as a 95-year-old, am I not? I'm a vibrant one. What I want to talk about right now is what I read in a previous video, and 719 was the number, and I've seen this so many times, and there's so many things you can say about the number 719, and I have to go back, and it was the France attack, and I think it was, oh, I know it was Mary, that's for sure, because I get at least one comment on every one of my videos, and I know if the comments are, I'm going to go, I know it's Mary. See the way we look at it? It's just Mary. But if it was somebody different, you go, who is it? And then if it's a good thing, oh, wow, it's great. Fresh blood. But who was there from the beginning? At the beginning? Someone that's even with Mary is Stephen, and everyone does not leave the street of Eve. Or the saint. Instead of street and Steve, you have saints of Eve. And when the saints come marching in, oh, when the saints come marching in, and I'll make up anything after this. You know why? Because whatever I say is going to be a reflection on me. To the reflection on somebody that listened to the end of it, didn't remember what it was, walked away, but didn't change their life. But each and every little group that walks around, we keep passing messages we don't know, because it's the matrix system. It's exactly what I'm saying now, because I've hit the combinations. I've made my mind work like a pinball machine to hit the right combinations to actually understand for my own self, because I didn't know where I was. Remember, they put me in the hospital and they said, he's writing again. He's drawing again. But he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. We know what I've done. We know what's behind me. We know everything's been painted, right? I'm not satisfied, and I'm very satisfied. Very satisfied. I'm happy I never stopped. Because it got to a place where I can finally really and say I came into this world and oh my God, I'm part of it. Like I feel like I'm gonna do something. I feel like, and eventually if it ends up like just me and Mary, I mean, it's like, how can I do something when the people just want to say something to me on the other side of the world? There's a million people, a billion people want to say Mr. Tackpans. But now that there's so many, it's hard to represent each other. So what ends up happening is these groups float with each other. All the groups, 2 by 2 and 2 by 2 and 2 by 2 and 2 by 2, right? And obviously the parents obviously had to be part of the group. So the 2 by 2 people that got together, they had a mother and a father. And unless that father slept with two mothers, there was one father and two mothers and two kids from two different families, but their brother and sister and they can't because we're not looking for incest. And not incest to why the genes don't work that way, but we can have incest for another reason. Because if I took A and threw it on top of A, all I'm going to get is A, and I'm going to go, hey, brother, we ain't got nothing but two dicks. We just became B. Now, one of us is going to have to be the female. Otherwise, we're both getting it up the butt. It's all a reality of poetic thinking. That I was lucky in my little pinball machine, that silver pinball wizard, that I asked the right questions, that I met the right people that got me to thinking of things the way I think today. And it's all because of everything that goes around you. Even if you don't want to hear it, you go, oh, no, I don't want to hear number 18 today. No, shit, somebody walked by, said, hi. Chai. You know, chai is, it's 6 times 3 is 18. It's 18. It's luck. It's also in Hebrew. It's also representation of Resh. Sigma is a representation of Resh because the beak of a bird and everything. $7.19 is the reason for this video. And 719, I think, was the number to France. I don't know if I should go and look that up right now. It came in on the, and hold on a second, I have to look for it. I have to go back because I lost it. And yeah, it was Paris 7/1/1991. Now 7, okay, is the gateway. Now since there are 5 numbers, right? It's only in the hundreds. 719 and then 917. And because the two nines meet together, it makes 18. It says the heaven within 1. 1 and 8 is 18, 9 and 9. Because there's 5 numbers. So 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and the 1 in the center is 9. But since the other number is 9 and 1, which brings the birth, because 7 and 2 is the birth, it's in the Venus world. And when something goes right through the hole into the other world, it makes the Venus world. And since you pass through the first world, I guess you mess Venus. Venus is 6 areas times 9 is 54. 54 and 54, if I had 2, is 108. 108 from the ground floor to the center floor to the top floor. 111 stories to the Twin Towers. 35, 37, 39, 37, 37, 37. A representation of Nibiru. 3 times 7, 3 plus 7, 21, which is the cube of 10. 3 and 7, 10, which is 202 or 1776. Why 202? Because 3, 5, 7. 3, 5, 7. 3, 5, 7, 7, 5, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5. And it's a song. And a ta, 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 ta. And then you make the music. And you lose it in the song. Because it sounds the same. But is it my voice, his voice, whose voice? On how many octaves can we actually have the song before it takes too much energy to send it as we're building? Da, 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 dee, da, 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 dee, because that's the echo of what we can hear until we can no longer hear what is already past and we're hearing from what's coming above. Do we hear both of them? Now we've got a sound chamber. 719, 7 times 19 is 70 and 63 is 133, 313. Creation of the light, altered current. Finishing off with 72, 7 by 2, 7 plus 2 means it is the B world gateway, begatest. The one spirit comes in, okay, but is the controller, the 7th gate, 1, 3, 1. That's why we have 7 days a week, because we all know the Mayans were 10 days a week. And it was actually 9 days and 1 day. 9 days and then 1 day. 9 days and then 1 day. And the only 2 dice that make 9 days and 1 day, I lost the camera. Tell me we're still on. We're still on. Oh, yes, you're not even here, but I see myself, so we're on because I'm going to finish this and I'm going to send it out. Oh, my God, I'm boring. So you turned it off already so you can't see the rest of it. Can't say that. Can't stick it in your eye. You'd be sticking in your own eye. What are you looking here? You're looking at me. Are you looking in? You're looking into the camera. You're looking onto the screen, right? I'm looking up there to the camera. And I'm also looking down. I'm also looking here. I'm looking at me, looking there, looking here. I want to see if I can see myself. Oh, oh. Okay, so I want to finish with 719. And I'm going to have to show you this, what's happening with 719. 719 at 90, how many, that's 91 right over here. I made a mistake. Nobody saw that, right? I'll cover it up. I made a mistake. Nobody will see, right? There you go. I'll make them all the same, you know. We'll hide it in between, right? Now we're going to go times 72 equals 5, 1, 8, 3, 3, 5, 2, 6, 13, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7. G-O-D. Now, I don't know what that means besides God and dog. We're also going to do it another way. Okay, we're going to do it this way. Um, it's not these two. How can I do this? These three over here will end up to be, this will be 17, this will be 35 equals to 52. Then I'm going to take these and I work it over here with this one. We overlap these two and then these two. And this is 9, 15, 15, 23, and 15. 3 times 3 is 9. 9, 3 and 3 is 6, 15, 21. 3 by 3 is 9, 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 and 15 is 23. 23 and 15 is 38. The Church of Earth. 38, 38. These two letters here are 39. You are church, 39. 38 is the 3838, right? The 52 is the 39 because you are the or. 52, the number before this is 39. That's who you are. If you fit in the house gets 13 and you get 13, but you don't get to see the house is 13. You don't get to see the house is 13. It's almost like in blackjack. You play blackjack, you get 22, you lose your hand, but the dealer is still there. Even if the dealer loses, you're out. So this 39, you don't get to see this 13 over here, 39, 39, and this one is 13 because it starts with 13. 13th one is the center one. Everybody is holding on to the center, the one center. There are 168 that go all the way around. This will go down this way, this will go down this way, this will go down this way, and this will go down this way, all around this. And in each one of these rows, it's going to start off as 48, 40, 32, 24, 16, and then the last one will be 8. Why will the last one be 8? Because it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It'll be 24. And you'll go 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you, all the way around, and it'll go 32. And then you go all the way around, it'll be 40, and you go all the way around, it's 48. This one will be 48, and this one will be 48, and this will be 48, and this will be 48. 48 and 48 equals to 96. 48 and 48, 96, and 96 equals to 192. That's wrong. That's wrong. This is a different number. The reason for this is if this number works out to 48, we have to work every number on the outside to 48, making it 192. And that is the birth inside 9. It's the same number as over here, this answer over here. 518335 192. 192. We already had 7. 1927. Am I making any sense here? Anyways, let me finish what I wanted to do here. When you add from 1, okay, you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you get 9. There are 7 numbers that are over here. So anytime you're going to mark this design in any which way you want, if it could have been a gimel, it could be the L letter. Okay, there are only 7 numbers, which is the G. The G owns from 2 all the way to 8, but 1 will live inside 9. 1 lives inside 9. We start at 2, so now we must lose 1 and 2. Because 1 and 2, 2 must go over here. Because 2 is inside 9. 1, 9, 2. There are 7 numbers made up inside. 1 now goes on the inside. It's actually lost. 1, 5, and 9 are all really lost because everything lives in 5, right? Everything lives in 5. So instead of having 9 over here, we're now going to put a 5 over here and a 2 over here. And everything else, whoop, I have it on the wrong level, or do I? Everything here is what's inside of 2 and 5. And all that's inside is 3 and 4. And the reflection of 3 and 4 is 7 and 6. And that's all you can play with. Because here's your number 5. And here's your number 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4 empty spaces. And that's your 1, 5, 4, 9. So the truth is, we live in between 2 and 2. This is all we are. 4. 2 here and 2 here. And the other 2s are here and here. 2 will now create 4, where 1 will live. 1 will live between 2, 4, 6, 8. But since 2 is inside 4, then 6 is half of 4 because it's 2 more than 4. So it's half of 4. It's 4 plus 2, creating the 6 cube. The 6 cube is the cube that brings in the polar 1, 1 and 8. Here's the 8 that's around. 2, 4, 6, 8, or 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 colors and 2 colors and 2 colors and 2 colors is 8. 8 colors. Or 3 colors, 6 color, 9 color, 12 colors. So now they're color codes. Not only are there color codes, it also equals to 20 plus 60 equals to 80 equals to 86 communication, 9 lives of the cat, 101 computer IT language. Why? Because all zeros get 6s, and this becomes 66. Like how about root 66? How about root canal? How about Suez? What does she say? Don't forget, if it has a name, it has a country. Right? This is French. England patriot. Patriote is French. So anyways, we went over this number over here. Now the thing is, I know it's a long video, but that the distance between 1 and 9 is only 7 numbers. If you add up the 7 numbers, it equals to 35. If you add up the 1 and 9, it equals to 10. You add them all up together, it's 45. This automatically gets 6. So this 45, it'll be 45, sorry. It'll be 45 plus 6. 4 and 5, 6, the Federation definition of all.com. Right? How about net? How about .net? Because it was never a business of theirs. Right? .net. Not .com to Kingdom Come. It was .net, the organization, 456. And it also represents GHI, JKL, MNO, right? 4, 5, and 6, the letters on your phone. You can check it out, but there's other things to look at. That if it did, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. So this is 42, and 32 is 70, 33 is 75, 85, 95, 90, 99. Jupiter, Federation Jupiter. Aye, Captain. We see the Jupiter, the Jew pipe. Toot toot, right? Popeye the pipe, the Jew, right? Jupiter. Now we're going to go into this. We'd have 42. plus 33 plus 24. 7, 8, 9, add them up. 10, 11, 12, add them up. Now what you have to do, okay, 66.99 is add 6 to this. It becomes a total of 105. Becomes a total of 165, in which relinks, right? Isn't that relinking, Mary? You had 165 also. I don't remember where it was, but you made me think of it anyways when I was looking at something you showed me. So when we look at 1991, the difference between 1 and 1 is 0. The difference between 9 and 9 is 0. The difference between 9 and 1 and 9 and 1 is 77. The difference between 1 and 9 is 0 and 7. So we get a total of 70. This one over here becomes 15 or 6. This one over here becomes 16 and 51. The numerological value to Mars, 1 through 5, but 2 is lost in 5, and 3 is lost in 5, and 4 is lost in 5, and there's nothing but 5 after that. But the reality is 5 is made up of 2 of 2s and 1 of 1s. And that's it. It's a 1 of 1 and it's a 2 of 2. And now we're going to go to 5, right? The 5, the number 1. So we have 70 that matches in here. And since 0 equals 6 and 70 becomes 76, 7 and 6 is 13. 7 plus 6 is 13. 7 times 6 is 42. 13 plus 42 equals to 55. Equals to 10 plus 5 times 5 is 25, 35. 35 is Earth and company, which is Jupiter, the 5th planet, and Earth, the 3rd planet. Earth holding the E letter for number 5. Jupiter holding the 1 for Area 51, Earth, Jupiter. Disregarding Mars is number 51, but Mars runs inside of Earth. We need number 1 and number 2. Number 1 runs into number 2. He steals all the information to number 2 and he goes all the way around. God comes in into the 1 position. He says, hey, I think somebody's been here before. He says, it looks like everybody's been into the closet. I better warn everybody and send out a new message. So we're all here gambling and going to casinos and drinking and going to bars and getting laid. And, oh, I skipped a few of those parts. But anyways, that's what happened to us. So we missed the vibration. We missed the gravy train. You know, when the bone comes in, the gravy train, you know what it's all about? So looking and understanding that between 1 and 7 is 5. Between 1 and 9 is 7. Between 1 and 7 is 5. 5 plus 1 and 1, the weekend, the first day of the week and the 7th day of the week, the 5 days in between. Between the next week, okay, which is on the Monday, Tuesday, this is the Wednesday now. Is it not? Because the first week ends on a Saturday, right? But the week after that, that starts on Saturday, right? The week after that is Saturday. No, the next week starts on Sunday. And then it ends on Saturday. Every week, it's the same thing. So anyways, I'm not going to get into that because Saturday this week would be the 7th. The next week would be the 14th. So if the 9th day of the week, the next week of this, right? Like the first week, the next, I can't even explain it. 7 and 7 is 14. You get the 14th day, the 21st day, the 28th day, okay? But you can't do that with the 9, right? This is perfect. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. When you're into 9, you're going 9, and then your 9, add 7 days, becomes 16. 16, 1 and 6 is 7. That 9 becomes 7. Then you add another 7. It becomes 23. 2 and 3 now becomes 5. Then you add another 7 to 30, and then it becomes 9 again. How does that? Because 9, 16, 23, 30, right? 30, 0 equals 6, right? So if 30 equals 6, 6 plus 3, or 63, or the 63 moons that play all in Jupiter. 3 and 6 equals to 9. So it goes from 9 to 17, to 16, to 23. It is at 9, okay? The first one starts at 9, but your first week is the 16th. The next one is the 23rd. Next one is the 30th. Boom. We automatically fish into a new one. It takes only 3 to go around back to 9 again, because every time you hit 0, add 6. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that 35, right? This will equal to 15 and 8, number 23. Number 23 is a representation of 11 and 5 and 6, which is the beta world. 5 and 6. 6 is 2, 2, and 2. Crisscross and on the cross. The one in the center is on the cross. This one up here, this one down here, and the one in the center is on the cross. 2, 2, and 2 on the cross. Man on the cross. And yet there is a calculation to the size of the cross and everything. I've found that out. I didn't complete it yet. It's not here in this book. It's waiting to get done. It's waiting for me. It's saying, Ronnie, Ronnie, come and get me. It's been a month. I'm in the book. You know, you want to talk about the size of the cross and exactly, you know, the shape and dimensions and everything like that. Because you know what? I'm not going to make up the size. I'm going to use the size that somebody already did. I do things that others do and I redo them again. Why do that again? Because I find something so real inside of so many things. Everything is real. When I told you we're missing 34, I want to show you that the number, right, to everything was 45, right? Well, 4 times 4 equals to 16 times 4 equals to 64, which is 8 by 8. 6 and 4 is east west. Times 4 equals 256. We're missing 3 and 4. We're missing 3 and 4 in this. And 5 times 5, 5 times 5 equals 225. No 3 and 4 equals times 5 equals to 125. And no 3 and 4 times 5 equals to 625. And none of them have 3 and 4 in it. This is 625 plus 10. 5. 25 times 25 is 625. 25 times 25 is 625. 25. 25 equals to a quarter. 1/4 is also represented this way, is it not? 1/4. 1/4 represented this way. Let's put them back this way. 1/4 here and 1/4 here. 1/4 of half. 6 is the half mark, even though 5 is the number for half. On a cube, the halfway point between two sides is over here, or over here, or what do we do for half here? We run 1 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the way we run. And when we do it this way, do you see 3 and 7? 3 and 7 are an even plane, and 3 and 7 is to Nibiru. So we're going to blame this video, I'm sorry, on Mary, because I really had nothing to say until I looked at those numbers and they like started talking to me. So, but it's not her fault because I took it upon myself, you know. So you can't blame anybody for anything. The only time you really want to blame anybody is when they start pushing you and doing things against your will. Then you can say it was them. But you're not going to be looking at that story. You're going to be looking at it going, you have to see that guy. He was making me do things against my will. And me and my buddies, we stood up for ourselves and we said, we ain't doing nothing. We're going to show you why we're right and why we should all be sitting down at this desk, smoking Mary Jane and talking about the good times and let these hard times go by, because there's nothing better in this world than communication. Right, Six? Right, Pen? Thank you. Thank you for watching Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Why don't we just call it the TV show something about Mary? It'd be so much easier, right? Those were your numbers. Can I show off those numbers? Okay. And does everybody know that in French, right? In French, we can't even see it. Maybe if I hold it closer. See that word over there, Paris, right? The word Paris. Well, Paris, the word Paris is to make a bet. And par, to hit it at par, which everybody knows par is 3-4-5, right? Is par 3-4-5 at all the golf courses? You show me one hole that's not a 3-4-5, and we're going to go through how long the maximum hole length in a national golf association is. So Paris is a bet. Backwards, you can also say ISIS or Syria, because the word backwards is Syria. You can add a Y to that name, Paris, if you want in French, and that's where we get the Y. We also have, je sais, it says to know, to one who knows, because of the letters S, A, and I, artificial intelligence, the spirit heaven, 1-9 inside the S. Inside the reason why it's 71991 is because the P is the 16th letter, right? And in fact, the P and S are accompanied together because 16 plus 3 is 19, and those are those letters, right? And they're above each other. I call it standard and poor. And you can also say Aries is inside of Paddy. 72 is a time cycle. 72 for me would be regarded as either 72 times 5 or 1/5 of 360 degrees. Okay, and if it was 1/5 of 360 degrees, we'd have to multiply, right, times 5, or just to multiply it by 2. Because when we see anything to do with 5, 5 and 5 is 10, therefore 10 is whole. So instead of going 10 times 5, 20 times 5 for the 100, I'm going to go 2 times 5. I don't need all those zeros for nothing. Just because I built another story on my house. So now you have that 1/5 in Paris, right? 1/5, and then I had to go, it was times 2. Paris times 2. Paris times 2 actually says more French cities. That's what it actually says. More French cities. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching this video. There was something I had to say. Did I say it? That we talked about zebras, number 4, number 5. Yes, there is one thing I think I didn't mention because I just made it up now, is that times 2 is 512 memory. Times 8 equals the 4096. Communication at 40, all 4 corners, 10, 10, 10, 10. But to get 10, you have to go around the corner, around each corner. Anyways, 256, 800, 892 is the answer over here. See the 192 reflects 892, same answer. Why? Because 1 plays inside 9, and 8 and 1 is 9. 1 and 8, H and A, the 2 external numbers. The only reason H is here, H doesn't exist, neither does 8 exist. But the 8 does exist, but if your life is not here, there is no H. There's no H for you because you're not crossing through. You're not on the cross. The H creates the I letter. Anyways, what the hell do I know, eh? What the hell do I know? What the hell do I know? I want discussion. You got to discuss. You got to talk about it. So we're going to get one on the left and one on the right. And how much time do we have in our lives to actually sit here? 33 minutes. But you could be watching any other show right now. 33 minutes unrehearsed, coming here right now. What can we be doing? What can we be doing? Why should we listen? Shouldn't he say something we really need to hear? That we need to hear? Why are we? While you're watching this is TV, basically. Okay. At the same time, I'm trying to be as learningful as possible. I say no matter who you are, okay, and I know it's like impossible for a good part of the world, okay, because of some of our habits that we have. I don't like to call it bad habits. It's only a bad habit if you think it is, because you can't control it, and you don't have enough money. And would you do it if you had more money? But we're not eating properly. We're running out of our houses fast to go to work. Not enough money. We have to know one thing, that when we get through and get onto the other side, you must know what brought us to where we are. But the problem is, a good 40% of the people still don't even know how deep into this altered world that we are, and we will be going, and we will see in our lifetimes. Besides that, well, most of us will see it, especially our kids. So this is where I'm going. I just try to show that there's a difference in looking at things, different ways to look at things. That's what I'm mentioning. Where numbers come to letters, letters are dimensions or geographical shapes, area, place, positions. There's element that build off of these numbers. Every number has its own reality for every person. Anytime you're going to tell me number 3 and 8, I'm going to say, let's go to church. Okay? Every time you're going to tell me 18, I'm going to say good and lucky. I go hi to you, hello, and how is everybody? Because with H, you have the spirit within the birth of who you are, hanging out in the heaven, the bones, the ark of the space you're in. Fleur-de-lis that comes. The fleur-de-lis represents everything I do. I have fleur-de-lis all over. Where is that fleur-de-lis? Well, that's a fleur-de-lis. Okay, that head is part of a fleur-de-lis. And how come I can't find it? Oh, yeah, there it is. I have a giant fleur-de-lis. It's like a 2-footer. Can you see it? See the one leaf there, the one leaf there, and then in the center, that's a fleur-de-lis. That's a fleur-de-lis. Center and two sides. Everything is a fleur-de-lis. Everything's a fleur-de-lis. All my pictures are all fleur-de-lis. That's the way they came out, basically. All based on either H and I and letters of the alphabet. Anyways, Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Um, my heart. Oh, you could have put it on pause and gone for something to drink and come back, watch it an hour later, and say, honey, I got another 15 minutes. It's a long commercial. Or break me down to 3 commercials. No, no. You got to say, honey, there's a show on. It's 15 minutes. It's like a comic book. So you put me on for 15 minutes 2 times, and your wife would go, yeah, I'm still watching. He's got one more segment to go. And then the last segment is only 10 minutes, and it ends, and you get into the kitchen, and your wife says, you're already back. Thank you for watching.